Welcome to Games from Folktales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson, and this is not your episode for the week. It's a thinly disguised ad for Mythic Europe magazine, issue 1, which is now out. It's available on Patreon and itch.io, and it will be available on DriveThruRPG once their human-mediated interface has had a bit of a look at it and made sure that it's suitable for human consumption. I'd like to thank the authors who are involved. I'd also like to thank the other fanzines who allowed me to take over articles which they'd already accepted, but which, because their magazines are sleeping in the depths, they were unable to publish until now. To give you some content for this week, here are some suggestions for other authors who want to write paid published material for Ars Magica. Some of the following advice is coloured by my preferences as a reader, so there's no need to point out that there's no one true way to write. In response, I would preemptively say there are many bad ways to write. Pick an obvious title for your project. Don't pick an evocative title, pick an informative one. You need to call your piece something, and the temptation is always there to make it something obscure, to put a little riddle in. I feel this pull too because our game has so much Latin drifting around in it. Mythic Venice spent its first year being called Serenissima. The rough work for Mythic Europe magazine was originally called Alviarium. Potential readers should look at the title and know if they are interested in reading the contents. If you can't manage that, then your subtitle or blurb must do that work. Remember, building mystery is explicitly not your job. You are selling the book. Write for use, not for narrative. There is a strong temptation to write adventures chronologically so they end with a twist. This is poor technique, because you are not writing fiction to enjoy in a linear manner. You are writing a technical manual for reference by a storyteller during a game session. You don't follow a recipe to discover at the end whether you have a stir-fry or a chocolate cake. Twists are for in-game action. They are not for role-playing material, because it is supporting the action. Don't tell me that I can do what I want. Every reader knows that they can do what they want. What I want, when I read your material, is to save time and run a good game session. I'm here for your ideas on how I should do that. If I open a cookbook and it says, throw in whatever you like, I think, that's terrible advice, and my chocolate cake will taste terrible once I've added this Vegemite. I'm reading your article to get your ideas, so give me your ideas. Don't tell me to do the work myself. Make hard choices. Don't hide behind mystery. If no one knows where your monster-filled hole in the ground comes from, either make that a plot hook, or shut up about how mysterious it is, because your job as the author is to give the reader ideas they haven't had. It is far better for you to take a huge swing and have the reader dislike what you've done than for you to say, do whatever you want. By the way, I was wrong. Dark chocolate and Vegemite taste wonderful together. Write in modern English. Do not write in cod English. This is the technical term for the faux Shakespearean stuff that seems popular. It comes from a particular place and a particular time, and those are after the standard game period for Ars Magica, and in a language which doesn't exist yet in 1220. It has rules of grammar around simple nouns like thou, which authors often fail to follow. It means your work is difficult to understand for people who speak English as a second language, and if you speak American English, please be aware that when you write in cod English, any of your American idioms are particularly noticeable. Don't attempt to give tone by writing in old-timey words unless you know what they mean and there isn't a better modern word. Go through and remove the word will. I know it's in the article a few paragraphs ago, but do what I say, not what I'm doing. Don't slip into the future tense when you're describing things that the characters might do. It doesn't work in Ars Magica because I've seen complete loops where a character considers what they might do, and as they work through the logistics of that idea, they inhabit all three tenses. Assume the player characters are going to roughly follow the story. Yes, there's an argument about railroading. As the author, that is not your problem. Railroading is the problem of the story guide at their table. Your job is to give the story guide material. How they use it in their sandbox is an entirely different question. Pick one strong word. Don't try and describe a thing with two adjectival phrases that sort of get to the region of the thing and give its vibe, you know. Pick one strong word. Similarly, having picked a strong word, don't go padding it with often, probably, or likely. Either the egg goes in the cake, or the egg does not go in the cake. It does not float in quantum superposition over the cake. Make the hard choice, take the big swing. And thank you for that rant. You will have a proper episode as well this week. Your saga may vary.